tired of the drama. You use your words like they are knives. I don't need that type of drama and trying to be tough all the damn time.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Natalie J Thomas +7/8. I'm not gonna go there today, but yeah. Today I'm just gonna do a sit down vlog with you guys because but what I wanted to talk to you about today is Confessions of a Single Mum Part 2. So for those who have been following me for a while, you will know that I did a Confessions of a Single Mum Part 1 just over a year ago, maybe a year and 4 months or something like that ago. And I thought it would be good to do an updated version of it. So I'm going to do that now. If you hear all these grunting and whatever noises, it's because little man is literally feeding right now as we speak. So yeah. So let's get on with the video. Jump straight into it. So my notes are there as per usual. You know the drill by now. So, Confessions of a Single Mum Part 2. Let's address like how I've been feeling as a single mum in the year 2020/2021. Do you know what? Actually, when I think about it, I done Confessions of a Single Mum in 2019, so it's actually been like a year and a half. But anyway, so yeah, 2020 was a semi-difficult year for me because obviously I got pregnant for the father of my previous kids, my previous 3 kids. So yeah, obviously that whole situation, you know, like the fact that even obviously we got back together after everything that happened between us, that was just a whole madness in itself, you know. At the time it seemed like, you know, everything was fine, he changed, the situation was completely different and whatever. So clearly we jumped back into that when we obviously shouldn't have. But I'm not going to go into detail about that whole issue or whatever, because this is long, that's in the past now. And what I got out of it was my son, which obviously I'm not gonna sit here and regret, because I love my son, do you know what I mean? And he's beautiful and perfect and he was meant to be here, yeah. So but after that relationship broke down again, I obviously spent time, the sun, but the glow. But yeah, so obviously I had to spend a lot of time recovering from that relationship. Yes, it was self-inflicted, but that's life, do you know what I mean? I have to take responsibility for the growth period after that, which I did. You know, it wasn't easy, because I wouldn't say I broke myself down to be with him, but I kind of did at the same time, because obviously but the year before that I had spent building myself back up from our previous relationship, you know. I lost myself in that relationship previously, so the fact that, you know, I jumped back in now and then it broke up again, I had to then rebuild myself. So I spent a lot of time during my pregnancy focusing on building myself back up as a woman, as a mother, you know what I mean, and just really concentrating on, you know, believing within myself that I wasn't the issue. But I just found myself, I had to spend a lot of time understanding that it wasn't me, you know. I wasn't the problem. But then when I say I wasn't the problem, I was the problem in terms of I didn't have enough like respect or enough boundaries or you know, like enough self-love. That's the word. I didn't have enough self-love for myself to not enter back into that situation, and that was where I had the problem. It wasn't me as a person or as a partner or anything like that. It was the fact that I should have had enough self-love and self-worth for myself to know that that relationship wasn't for me, you know. And it wasn't until sort of like the end of 2020 where I really said to myself, look, we're going to focus on this self-love thing. We're going to focus on this self-worth issue that you have. Do you know what I mean? And I did do that, you know. I've been single since breaking up with him. I haven't entered back into a relationship. I thought at one point that, you know, I could talk to someone and, you know, it would go somewhere, but like I just my fuckboy radar basically went off, and I was just like, no, and I just dropped that. And yeah, but since then I have literally just been focusing on me. And you know what, like, it's the best decision that I have made for myself in a long time, in a long time. You know, being single is not so scary. You know, you get to really know yourself. You get to really understand certain things about yourself, like where certain issues come from, why certain things hurt you so much, why you respond to certain things so much, and things like that. Do you know what I mean? And being single is not that scary, honestly. Like, I used to be afraid of being alone, but that stemmed from a whole range of issues. From, like, I even wrote a blog the other day titled Daddy Dearest, and that's me talking about my daddy issues, you know, like how my broken down relationship with my dad affected my relationships moving forward and stuff like that. Other things, like during my teen years, being rejected by, you know, people who I wanted to be friends with, or people that I wanted to be with, or whatever. Even things like being the ugly duckling of my friendship circle, where I noticed that all my friends were like getting with people, getting with guys, and I was always being left to the side because I was considered the ugly duckling of the group. You know, like, people used to tell me I was ugly, people used to tell me I was too black, people used to tell me I was too skinny, and all of that went into my I soaked it in, and it registered within my head, where what I should have done is should have shook it off and kept it moving. But, and as much as I did on the outside, you know, like to their face, shut up, you know what I mean, you're not funny kind of thing. When I went home, that stuff soaked deep down into me, do you know what I mean? And it became a part of me. I felt away, I felt rejected, I felt ugly, I felt, you know, not wanted and stuff like that. So it really did affect the way that I handled things when I did get attention. Do you get what I'm saying? I found myself clinging to that person, and even if that person didn't have good intentions for me, I would cling to them because they were showing me some form of attention, you know. And even if it was negative attention, it was something. Do you get what I'm saying? And since then, I never really took the time to understand, why am I finding myself in these messed up situations, you know? And it was only like recently that I've really sat down with myself and I've realized, like, this is where it stemmed from. And now you need to root the problem out, like really go down into yourself and pull the problem up from the roots. Because if not, every subsequent relationship, even friendship or whatever, is going to go down the same road of, you know, they might start to treat me a certain way, but because they're showing me more attention than I'm used to, I'm clinging on to it, thinking that it's love, or thinking that it's something that it's not, you know. And I learned that a lot through reading these books that I've been reading, How to Get Over a Boy, What a Time to Be Alone, and these are only two that I've read so far, and I've really learned a lot. You know, it's not about settling anymore. Like, one of the books really honed in on like figuring out like just how much of a queen you are. Do you know what I mean? People will look at you and say, oh, you know, you've had all these kids or whatever, you've got X amount of baby fathers, and now you want to settle down and expect a man to treat you like a queen. Yeah, I do. And at the end of the day, it's what I deserve. Do you know what I mean? Just because I didn't necessarily see it from a few years back doesn't mean that I'm not now entitled to treat myself or let others treat me the way that I deserve to be treated, now that I know that this is not the way that things should be. Do you get what I'm saying? So, and I'm happy, I'm very happy to remain single until I find somebody who does treat me the way that I deserve to be treated. And obviously I know that that guy is not just going to be any guy, because my situation is not a normal situation. Having 8 kids is not normal, it's not standard. You get what I'm saying? So that could mean that I end up being single for a year, 2 years, 10 years, until my kids grow up. Do you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm gonna make sure that I spend this period of singleness really getting to know myself and really loving the person who I am as a single woman and as a mother. Do you know what I mean? Because if I allow myself to be miserable during this whole time period and craving and wanting a man and whatever for the whole, like, between year to 10 years of being single, I'm just going to be miserable. I'm going to waste away. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not going to become a better version of myself, you know, always craving and wanting to be with somebody. I'm learning to celebrate my own singleness. I'm learning to celebrate myself as a woman, the woman that I am, like realizing just how amazing I actually am, you know. And that's not me bragging, that's just me realizing that actually, yes, I am a queen, and actually, yes, I do deserve nice things, and I do deserve to be treated properly. Like, you know, I'm somebody's daughter as well, you know. So yeah, like I possess qualities that, you know, people would be lucky to you know, they'd be lucky for me to like bestow it on them. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, just because I am a mum of 8, it doesn't take away from my qualities as a woman and as a person. You know, there's stuff that, you know, people don't know about me, people that people don't see, stuff that I don't show on the vlogs or on the gram or on Facebook or whatever. There's so much more to me that, and sometimes I find that I've been given those certain things that, you know, make me me. I've been giving them away. Do you get what I'm saying? To people who don't even deserve it. So this period of singleness, I'm just learning how to. I think he agrees. I think I'm just learning how to, you know, just increase those qualities that I have, work on them, fine tune them, and recognizing who deserves to see that side of me in the first place. Do you get what I'm saying? I've been doing a lot of things like, just reading my notes, I've been doing a lot of things like journaling as well. Like, I find that journaling, like, I get like verbal diarrhea, honestly, when I write about stuff, how I'm feeling, and then I start writing about myself, because sometimes people will ask me, oh, what is your best qualities, like what makes you you? And I tend to find that sometimes when people ask me that, like, you know, face to face, I can't really tell them. It jumps out of my head, you know. But then when I write, I realize that, you know, wow, like, everything starts spilling out onto the page, and I'm like, okay, wow, like I've got a lot of substance, you know. And I just forgot, you know, I just forgot who I was for a while. But you know, journaling really helps me to remember and to really fine tune them, like, all right, okay, boom, I am this and I'm this because, and da 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 da, you know. So you know, that's really helped. It doesn't mean, all of this doesn't mean that I don't get lonely. Do you know what I'm saying? I do. Like, you know, there's not, I don't think there's, you know, I do get lonely. Like sometimes I wish that, you know, there was somebody there, like I had a partner or whatever to share my experiences with, like evenings and stuff like that, just to sit down on a sofa and mess around and, you know, watch TV, them little things that, you know, just the simple things that I miss. But I counteract that by doing the stuff that I mentioned, like reading self-help books, journaling, even burying myself into my new career path that I've chosen to take, which is being a social media influencer. I've really, really, really buckled down with that. Like as of late, I've just really poured a lot of my energy into it. Besides being a mum, do you get what I'm saying? Because even that, being a mum, it does take a lot out of me, you know. People always look at me and say, oh, you know, how would you even find time to have a relationship? And at this point where I am now that I've been really buckled down with like my social media, my finding my own time for me, figuring myself out, yeah, I can understand now that I wouldn't have time for an actual relationship right now. Do you know what I'm saying? While I'm still, you know, planning and figuring things out, but doesn't mean that I wouldn't be able to find time, you know, as things sort of like level out for me. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, like I said, I'm not looking for a relationship, but at the same time, I'm not gonna, you know, if somebody did come along or whatever and, you know, potentially was somebody that I was interested in or whatever, I'm not gonna just tell him to F off, do you know what I mean? But what I am gonna do is take my time. There's no rush, you know, just there's no rush. Like I'm not rushing to be with anybody, but at the same time it would be stupid to not be able to recognize that somebody might be a blessing for me. Do you get what I'm saying? Like there's some people who have been so burnt by all their past relationships that, you know, all of a sudden one day their actual Mr. Right does come along, but because of everything that's happened to them, their vision and their judgment is clouded and they tell him to F off. Do you know what I mean? And next thing you know, they've lost that blessing. So yeah, I'm not like I said, I'm not looking for a relationship and I'm just not focused on that anymore. But at the same time, I'm not gonna, you know, be ignorant, you know, to the fact that if somebody came along, like I'd probably want to get to know them, but not in the way that I was getting to know people before. Like it would be a thing of, you know, I meet someone and instantly I'm like, oh my God, is this it? This could be it. Like this could be the guy for me. Do you know what I mean? And I'm literally going above and beyond for somebody that I barely even know, in terms of like, oh, you know, just little things like just little things like you know, I don't know how to explain it, but I've always been a person that will just go above and beyond for somebody that I'm interested in, when they haven't really proven to me that they even deserve that from me. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah. But no, I'm not going to be doing that anymore. Literally, there's nothing wrong with being friends first. And I know it sounds so cliche and it sounds like, oh, you should have known that from before, but you know, I know it now. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with being friends and building up from there, because the friendship is where the foundation is established. Do you get what I'm saying? Obviously we're in lockdown now, so dating is kind of impossible at this point. So it's always like a thing of you'd have to be speaking on the phone and stuff like that. But when things go back to normal, you know, dating is gonna be a must for me. Like before I even think about getting into anything with anyone, like getting to know that person and stuff like that, is a must. So yeah. What else? Oh yeah, and another thing that's been helping me in terms of like rediscovering like who I am and my sense of self-worth and stuff like that is podcasts. I've been listening to a certain particular podcast recently, and I don't agree with absolutely everything she says, but a lot of the things she says, like it really makes me think like, wow, like how did I not realize this about myself? Or you know, or like she will bring up something and I'll be like, that is actually me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and it will really make me you know, like just evaluate myself, you know. It makes you dig deeper, you know. Why is it that I am, you know, so attached to a certain person? Why can't I leave this person alone when I know that they're no good for me? What is it what's the issue? And she addresses a lot of stuff about that. So yeah, podcast definitely. Even doing things such as, I think I mentioned it before, but waking up at like 5 a.m. rather than waking up at like 8 or whatever. I've been waking up at 5 for the most part, and literally taking time for myself. Just, you know, sort out the house, then sit down, have a coffee, listen to my podcast, you know, read my books, just meditate with myself, you know, and really just like that time is so needed for me. It really is. Just me time. And being a mum of 8, me time is something that I don't really get a lot of, you know. So I have found in that period of time since I've started to do these 5 a.m. starts, I have grown so much as a person. I'm not even sitting here and bragging, like I have literally grown so much as a woman, as a single mom, you know, because I've managed to sit down and pour into myself. I found a time where the kids are not awake generally, and I could just pour into myself. And that is exactly what I have been doing. So yeah, like that is my confessions really. Yeah, that's about it, you know. I'm not gonna 2021 for me is gonna be so different from 2020, honestly. My mindset is so different from what it was in 2020 and 2019. Like I feel so much more stable within myself, so much more self-assured, so much more worthy within myself. Like I just feel so confident, you know. And I'm only at the beginning of this journey. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yep, I've cracked it. I know who I am. I'm up here and they're down there. That's not me. I'm at the beginning of my journey still, but I still, even though I'm right at the beginning, I feel so empowered and so just so ready to move forward. Do you know what I mean? And make my life so much better than it has been, you know, on my own, you know, on my own. Like I don't need to be dependent on anybody else. I don't need to you know, have somebody by my side to make myself whole. Do you get what I mean? I don't need to have another half of me to make myself whole. Like I'm more than enough just on my own, you know. And yeah, just got to keep it real with myself, you know. The times when that loneliness does creep in or whatever, I just got to remind myself that I am building myself up to be the best version of who I can possibly be. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this period of time, I'm working on myself so that when, you know, eventually when someone does come along, like, I am just the best type of woman that they could ever, you know, dream for. Do you know what I mean? Despite my situation, despite having 8 kids, I'm still the best woman that they could have ever, you know, imagined for themselves. And I do believe that is possible. Like, with all my heart, I believe that is possible. Like, I know I can make that happen, but I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it so that I can be an asset to somebody else. I'm doing it because, okay, the light is hella bright. I'm doing it because I want to do that for myself. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to be that queen, and I want to be, you know, just who I was meant to be, you know, and not for a man, not for family who are expecting certain things from me or whatever, but for me, because I want to do it, and I want to see good things happen for myself. I want the best for myself. I want to grow. I want to be this person, and I want to, you know, not like somebody else, but the person who I envision for myself, you know. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And I'm not going to let anybody distract me from it. Like, one thing I do struggle with is distraction, and I've had to be quite tough with myself over the last few months, I'd say, or even the last few weeks. Honestly, I've had to really crack down on myself and be like, look, no more. Do you know what I mean? Like, enough is enough, kind of thing. So yeah, but I think that generally that's where I'm at now. Focusing on myself, focusing on even establishing better relationships with the kids. Like, our relationship, my relationship with my kids right now is great, but at the same time, it's not about being stagnant. You know what I mean? It's always about leveling up. Oh, is the sun in your eyes? Oh, sorry. Is that better? Yeah, it's always about, you know, like, leveling up your relationships. You don't just stay where you are. Like, it can always be better, it can always be improved. The kids are getting older with every passing day, so what they might have needed yesterday, they might not need today, or what they might not have needed yesterday, they might need today. So it's just always constantly about, you know, just moving with it, and yeah, focusing on improving. But with that said, I didn't mean for this vlog to be 29 minutes long, but hey ho. But yeah, so yeah, that's about it for this vlog, guys. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate in the comments. Oh, why are you talking about man for? If you listen, because I remember I made a vlog when I was saying, and the same thing, I'm not concentrating on any relationship or whatever. I remember in the comments someone was like, oh, you're talking about man. If you listen, you will realise I'm talking about men, but I'm talking about, I don't want a man. I'm not focusing on men. So don't come for me with your stupidness, especially when you don't actually listen to the video. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're not listening to what I'm saying, don't come for me. It doesn't make sense. You just get lost. But yeah, so I hope you guys did understand what I'm trying to say, and I hope maybe you can sort of pull something out of it for yourselves as well. And yeah, we're going to end it here, but don't forget, please guys, as always, to like and subscribe to my channel, to see more of these cutie patootie with his dry up face.
counting down till we take flight. It's how you
Yeah.
make me
Anyway,
feel.
so yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Tap the bell for notifications to be notified when I post in the future. And yeah, join the family. More is coming now, so I'm gonna end the vlog. Peace, guys. Take care. Bye.
You found a different side of me, like someone